All right, so Scapy is a Python library that lets you generate network traffic. I learned about it because I came across an IPv6 vulnerability, and I told the Microsoft people, and they told me about Scapy. And normally you download and run it locally, but I'm thinking I can probably put it in Google Colab. That seems to be working for everything. So let's see if that works. Whoa, did my browser crash? No, all right, it's back. All right, so let's get Colab. All right. Okay. Operated, recover from a crash. Okay, fair enough. So here I am in Colab. Make a new notebook. And let's see if I can install Scapy. I seem to be able to do everything in Colab, so I bet I can. So to install it, it's, yes, I didn't want to use the one in the repository. Well, let's see if I can probably just do this git clone. Let's see if this works. Let me just take a look at what I'm going to do here. I'm going to be using interactive Python. I think this is going to be too annoying to run in Colab. The interactive part is going to be strange. I'm going to run it locally. I think that'll work better. And by the way, I'm a little insecure about running it on the Mac. I'm going to give it a try, and we're going to see. I vaguely remember in the past having trouble doing this in a Mac. So let me make a directory for Scapy and go in there. All right. So let's try git clone, and we'll try running it from this git clone and see if it's going to work on the Mac. It might not. Oh, good. Glad to see it, Amy. All right. All right, then cd Scapy and sudo run Scapy. Let's see if this is going to work. Okay. Well, it's launching, and okay, it might be all right. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Now, the thing about Scapy is it knows all the network protocols. It understands them. So you can make an IP object, and that will be an Internet Protocol object. You can see it with display. Here it has all the headers in the IP header, including the source and destination IP address. And you can set the destination to something else like google.com. You can use either a domain name or an IP address, and then you can do a display again. And now it notices you're going to the internet, google.com, so it changes the source address to the real address of the adapter instead of 127.0.0.1. So that's good. Now I should be able to make an ICMP packet to run on top of that IP packet. And I found it works better to specify the ID. There was some kind of defect, at least in the Kali version of Scapy, so this ran better. And so if I display the IC packet, there it is, an echo request going off. And all right. I see it has an unused field and sequence field, which is a little bit different than what we had there. But anyway, let's see if this is going to work. Send and receive one. And you put the IP layer and then a slash and then the higher layer, which is IC. This should do a ping of Google. It should send an ICMP packet to Google, transporting it over IP. And it did. It sent a ping to Google, and here's the echo reply coming back from Google. So it's working fine here on the Mac, so that's good. So now you can also send data you can send data at the next layer. This is the layer 7 data, so I can send hello from Sam to Google, and it will echo back, including the load, hello from Sam. This is, you are allowed to send data with ICMP to identify it. And so there's a flag you can get. You can open this page. You can fill in your name here. Let's copy, and I'll put it here. All right, and I'm going to change the your name to Sam. All right, so ping Sam, and right now there's no such page. But what will happen is when you send a ICMP with the right properties, it will appear for a few seconds, and you can load it, and it contains the flag. I've got a script listening on the server for particular ICMP packets, and it writes that page for a few seconds. So that's a start. And next thing is ICMP. So let's give this a shot. I'm going to copy and paste a series of commands all at once. All right. So this creates another IP and sends it to 1111, which is, I think, a Cloudflare site. And then it makes a UDP packet and a DNS packet and sets a DNS query to go to google.com and displays the DNS query. So here's the DNS query, question record, ask me about google.com, ask me for the A record, which is the IP version 4 internet record. So we can perform that query with SR1 IUD. That will send and receive 1, the IP packet, and above that the UDP packet, and above that the DNS request packet. So that sends a DNS request, and here's the DNS reply, and here is the IP address for Google there. So that's the R data, starting on 14 here and continuing to there. It answered the. So there's some flags defined and sending different kinds of DNS requests, which you can do from Scapy. The reverse DNS is really quite difficult and worth quite a few points. Irritating to send a reverse DNS in Scapy, although it can be done. And there are other records. I made a list here of the 8 most common DNS records. You're going to be looking for various other records, and you should know them. Here's the common ones you need. A is an IP version 4. Quad A is IP version 6. And here's canonical name and pointer and text, all store text up there of various kinds. And there's start of authority, the mail exchange, list of name servers. So there's a few flags defined here by querying DNS with Scapy. And that's it for that one.